Hey, good afternoon, good evening. How's it going? So we've got Sledge and Rex and Rob, Rosalind, Mary, Diane, Ivan, Mark. What's up, everybody? Goldie, it's NVIDIA Eve is what it is. NVIDIA Eve coming up. Earnings for NVIDIA coming up tomorrow. It's probably the big market mover of the week. I would venture to say. So we've got NVIDIA earnings coming up. Coming in hot tomorrow after the close, right there. We have PCE coming in on Friday, and then after we talk about a few things, we'll do 30 minutes of your requests. As always, glad to have you. Thanks for coming. And as a reminder, I am speaking at an Elliott Wave trading event this week. If that kind of thing interests you, you can register. I'll throw a little bit of information in the chat here, or attempt to anyway. And right here, there you go. It's an Elliott Wave Hub event. You can register right there. Get invited at 2 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be speaking for a little while. Yeah. 26th in Canterbury. Yeah, already tomorrow. So it's already NVIDIA Day, I guess. Well, I guess NVIDIA Day will be tomorrow for you, since it'll be after the close tomorrow. And kind of felt like Monday all day. Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Yeah. Welcome to Tuesday, 30 minutes of awesome. So we'll go through everything, but first, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments such as stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them, because there is a substantial risk of loss involved in all trading. Hopefully you understand what that means. If you're looking for somebody just to tell you what to do, what to get into, guess what? Most people out there doing what I do, if you're watching somebody on YouTube, they're probably 99% full of crap, including me. I'm probably full of crap. So if you follow them, you'll probably lose your money. All right? Just saying. I may be completely full of crap, never get anything right again. Now, I get a few things right here and there. I tend to get lucky in the market. But it may all come down and never work again. It's kind of the way this works. Put your money at risk, you might lose it all. So, coming up tomorrow, we have, like I said, President Trump speaks every day. This wasn't on the calendar earlier, but there he is right there, right before the market closed, speaking. He gets out there and speaks every day. He loves that stuff. Wednesday, not a whole lot. We got some crude oil, new home sales coming out tomorrow after the market opens. And after the market closes, right down here, NVIDIA earnings. NVDA. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. That is probably the big news of the week right there. Just in case you missed it, NVIDIA currently the number 3 largest asset, the number 2 largest stock in the entire world right now. Reporting earnings, and maybe because of all the AI things that are built, on top of it or underneath it, might be the most important earnings that we have this season. I don't know. Call me crazy, but that might be the way this works. So, looking on down the pipe here, on Thursday, we get some preliminary GDP, unemployment claims, core durable goods, preliminary GDP price index, a little bit of potential market moving information on Thursday morning. We'll get the actual market open and the reaction from NVIDIA earnings on Thursday. And then Friday, we get Jerome Powell's favorite number for inflation, PCE. And we'll see how the market digests that right there. Now, we have been in a correction for a few days, breaking down below support. We came down to the main support area that I drew on the box and found support. Can't make this stuff up. I don't know. Sometimes Sometimes I get lucky on this. I said 59.20 was pretty much the level I was watching. We came down, poked just a smidge below it. I mean, just a smidge. Hung out there for a little while and then went bouncing back up. Came up to the 5-minute roadmap line, bounced down a little bit and closed the day. Can't make this stuff up, everybody. I mean, gee, man, like, what I tell you that 2 days ago? I picked this level 2 days ago, right here. 59.20. Drew it as a big box. Dang. That's the level. If we get below this, we're probably going down to the roadmap line. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'll go through it again in the morning show, but that was it. Dang. If we bust through it, we're probably coming down. Probably coming right down here. At the minimum. This right here. And possibly all the way down into this zone down here. All right. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. So that's the S&P in a nutshell right there. Nasdaq in a nutshell. This could easily let the rope go right there. That could easily, and that may drag the S&P down with it right there. This is looking a little more likely to get some downside. A little more likely. And then Russell is also looking like we might get an extension lower. Got that move. We got that move right there. This is support right in here. If Nasdaq lets it go, if NVDA falls out of bed tomorrow, Russell's probably going down too. Speaking of NVIDIA, earnings coming up tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff drawn on this chart. I know. Let's go to a cleaner chart. And let me turn off this right there. It's pretty much as simple as this. Simple as this right here. Classic market roadmap bounce. Came up into the danger zone. That gap. I warn about gaps all the time. Gap downs matter. Think about it. People were bought. People bought 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. People bought 3 days. And then woke up the next day and NVIDIA's down here on DeepSeek, right? Right, holy fudge muffins. I thought we were going higher. I'm stuck. It bounced a little bit, went down even lower. People bought, people doubled down, tripled down, rallied back up. Just touched that gap fill. I'm going to get the fudge out. And then it drops back down to the roadmap line again. Right there. Now, perfect measured bounce setup. First move down, the retrace. Next move down might put NVIDIA right down here. Now there is opportunity tomorrow if we bounce. If we hold this, shoot it up right to there. That's the target on the upside. There's your downside risk. There's your upside risk, upside target. So if you're playing short, this is your risk on the upside. If you're playing long, this is your risk on the downside. Which way we're going? That's pretty like that move right there. Set up for going long, but we stopped at the gap and turned down at the 618 area. That's a setup for short. So it's stacked 1-to-1 basically. Now you look at the last little bit here today. This is why tomorrow might matter. We 618 retraced again. So this was a 618 for down. This is a 618 for up. So you've got up and down, both stacked. Potential for this to bounce up or break down here and get continuation right down in here. Which way? I'm not really playing it. I don't feel strongly either way. So, don't feel strongly either way on this. Yeah, the gaps don't work the same when you get a gap up. Like a gap up, think about it. Nobody was selling into the gap, like, nobody's selling into the low, and then it gapped up, and they're like, oh man, I hope it comes back so I can buy it. That's not the way psychology works, all right? Psychology here, you got stuck. It dipped even lower, you doubled down. You got back up here, you're like, thank the freaking Lord, I just want my money out, and then it drops back. Happens all the time with gaps. All the time. That's why gap downs matter, gap ups, gaps up don't really matter. And I can't remember the one I got involved in that I made like 30% last year. That was such a big gap down. Why can't I remember that one? It's one of the bigger ones. Yeah, maybe I'll remember later. Maybe we'll come across it, but it was a high flyer. It gapped down. I got in on the bounce, and it took it like 6-8 months to come back, but I made like 30% on shares. Not a bad hold. Not a bad hold. Anyway, so that's why gap downs matter right there. And that's, we do have one other earnings. I'm sure somebody's going to make this request, but this is pretty horrible right there. This is now down below the net asset value. Look at this low, this high, right back here. We're sitting in the danger zone. Support down to $10. We get below that zone, probably going lower low. And lower low is, we've got to put it on the other chart right there. Lower low is going to be, yeah, there, readjust. So down to here. And lower low is going to be down to $2 if this breaks. Down in here. Say, JT, that sucks. Yeah, it does. Does a lot. But this could potentially bounce here too and shoot it way on up. So. Welcome to crypto, the most dangerous thing in the world you can put your money involved in. That's what I say all the time. Like, any money you were going to put in crypto, be willing to take it out back, put it in a fire pit, and burn that crap, and you not be upset about it. 100% serious on that. 100% serious. I thought you had a bunch of money tied up. I do have a bunch of money tied up. I believe in it, but it might burn it down. Now, speaking of crypto, check it out. What did we do? Finally. I've only been talking about this for what, 6 months? Seems like forever that we would top out up here. I mean, look, we did it. We did the thing I said we were going to do. Like, I thought this retrace was this retrace, but actually this retrace was over here. Kind of funny. We might even come all the way back down to this breakout level. Look right here. Coming across, coming across, coming across. We might even come down to there. It's possible. Now, 30% pullbacks are part of the game when we do big runs in crypto. Rewind 4 years ago. That's a long time ago. I don't want to think about it. Well, guess what? You kind of have to when you're playing big patterns like this. Look where that level is. 30% pullback. Right there. Around 77, 78,000. Could this go on down the next couple of days? You betcha. Could it even dip a little lower to that breakout level? You betcha. Right there. Do I want to see that? Not really. I'd love it to hold right here at the roadmap line and bounce higher. I would love to see that. All right. That's what I would love to see. I don't know if it's going to do it or not. Never can tell. I actually thought we bounced down from that level before. Do a 30% correction back here, but nope. We waited till we were all the way up here. Look at this one right here. That was a 30% correction. That high, that low. Here's another one. This high may come back down to this low. It's part of the game. Maybe like, I don't remember that. Look over here. Let's zoom back in time. Here we are, 2021. Last big crypto run. Look right here. Holy cow, it's 29%, 30% right there. Holy moly. Pretty close. Probably didn't even get the low proper right there. And the high still sticking up there. Yep, 30%. It's part of the game, all right? If you're not used to this game, don't play this game. If you don't like this game, don't play this game. You don't have to trade everything. Why do I chase crypto? Man, there's big opportunity. I mean, nothing runs like this. I've been in this stuff since like 2012. All the way back over here. And this is Bitstamp, so let's go to the all-time history. To me, this is fun. Like, I love this stuff. It's pure price patterns. There's nothing else going on here. There's no other, just human emotion and price patterns. There's no earnings, nothing else. Look at that. 45% drawback. Look at some of these original. Yeah, 50% pullback. 80%. That's what happens after having. Next run over here, 20%. There was a nice big fat one right there, 40%. Another pullback. I mean, these, I love the repeatability of this stuff. Like, look at that, 40% pullback. Another one right there, 30%. 40%. Another one right there, 40%. So it's not unusual, right? That's what I'm saying. Giant pullbacks, not unusual. All right, look, that was the low right here in 2019. First run up, having occurred right over here in May during COVID. Hard for some people to remember that. But look right in front of having. Big 70% drawdown. Whew. But that wasn't even, the peak was over here with a big crypto winter drawdown. Right there. 84% down. Then we peaked out in 2021. Big drawdown. Right there. 77%. Had this pullback. That expansion. We're at the 1272. Highly likely we're going to top out right up here at the 1618. If I had the numbers right on the right thing. It's right around 170,000. After we finish this up, hopefully we can hold in this vicinity of the 1448. That's my made up fib line. And shoot up here. Possible. We have to retrace all the way back down. Like I said, right there. Possible we got to do that before we can go up. 170 is still the target. May stall out just a little bit low at 150. And then guess what? Remember that 77, 80% pullback? We're going to do that again. From right up here. Guess where that puts us? Right back down to 40,000. So even though we're going to do this, probably going to do this. I don't want to be involved in that, JT. Cool. Don't trade crypto. Period. End of story. That's what we're going to do. Highly, highly likely. Highly likely. And CZ from Binance. Yeah, check this out. You love this. Love this, right? People think this stuff doesn't, like, this stuff doesn't follow cycles. This doesn't happen. Check out this right here. Look at this tweet. Look at that date. Waiting for the headline. Bitcoin crashes from 101,000 to 85,000. Save this tweet. December 17th, 2020. You know what he tweeted today? He said, waiting for the headline, Bitcoin crashes from 1 million down to 850,000. or something like that, or 900,000. He said, save that tweet. Same thing he said 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. Wild, right? This stuff is predictable. It's not just me. Like, it's predictable. Cycles. It's going to happen. We'll probably be at 1 million. Be a while from now. If you can hold on, be a wild ride. We'll see some ups. We'll see some downs. We'll see 70% drawdowns. We'll see giant upsides. If we get to 170, probably should lighten the load. Because we're probably going to pull back to 40. Get back down to 40. Time to load up again. Because we're probably going up to 400,000 or 500,000. It's just the way it works. Why 400,000 or 500,000? Look at this right here. Look where the 1618 is. If we go from here, that top, this bottom, 1618, 400,000. Right there. I can already tell you years ahead. It's probably not going to happen for like 6 years, 8 years. Probably 7 years, something like that. Maybe 4 years, roughly 4.5 years, something like that. There you go. It's that easy. It's that easy. Now, Ethereum, this looks kind of bad. There's problems here. That high, that low, big problems here. What's wrong? That's resistance. It was resistance before we made that high. Right there. See that resistance, that resistance, that resistance, that resistance, that resistance. This has been in resistance for 5 years. What's the problem here? Problem is that was the highest high back there a long time ago. We just made a lower high. And if we do an echo in the market, if we do that, if we repeat that move right there from this high, or even this high, look where it puts us. You know what the price is right there? 3 digits. Possibly extend it down to that level. That's what I'm concerned about on Ethereum right now. If we break below those lows right there, game on. We're going lower. That's a big problem. I didn't change anything. I haven't sold any crypto. Haven't bought any crypto. Not investing in any crypto. I bought from much lower levels. I'm just sitting on everything. Not changing a thing. This is just a bump of the road. This pullback. I don't get in and out of positions that I buy for years. Like, I built this position over the last 6 years. I'm not changing anything just because we dipped a little bit. Probably my target's up at 170. That's where I'm getting out. Up there. JT, did you sell more? No. Did you buy more? No. Did I do anything? No. Do I do other trades? Yeah, I do other trades around it. The major big position, mostly shares, not doing anything. Closed my options in January. Now, I do have some other things like crypto income. They're just riding. Just riding. We'll see what happens. All right. Moving on. Other things. Oil. Probably should put this on the red list. And normally I would show off the morning charts, but right now, let's just talk big picture. Big picture, oil made its high right here. Right? Came up off the COVID lows, made this giant high, pulled back, made a lower high, and then a wedge. That first move up, we have this move down. It should just start at the high. Start at the high. First move down, that's probably an A wave. Now, after an A wave, we usually get a 3-wave move that's a B wave. At this point, that looks like the A of the B. B waves are the only waves that can really be triangles or wedges or these weird complex things. V waves or X waves. So you've got A, B, C, D, possibly E. So we may bottom out right in here and then shoot higher. So this may be a B. And this right here could possibly be a C wave that takes us up in this area. Possibly up to 105 level. That is the 61.8% retrace of this entire big drop for the A wave over here. And then, and that'd be like a circle. These are sub ABC. So that's the A. This is the big B right here. And then that would take us down, and we'd match this wave right over here. Again, for a C wave that takes us down here, somewhere in there. So it'd be something like this. Using the fib tools to explain all this. You've got the A wave down. You've got this potential A wave up, B wave consolidation. Using this fib tool. Ching, ching, ching. Look where that puts it right there. At that 618 level. I was saying 105. Depends on if you're in log mode or not. And shoot back up there. Turn down. Looking at the fib lines one more time. A, B, C puts it right down here, potentially like that. So big picture, this is what oil looks like it's going to do. Now, can it take a different turn? Sure. Doesn't have to do this. That's what it looks like to me right now. Big picture. Pop up in here. Find resistance. Could come all the way up in here. Find resistance. And turn down for the final move on this. And it could be, that could be 27, 28, 29 possibly. This could take way longer to finish correcting. All right, it does, like I'm not drawing speed with these. I'm just drawing levels. Could be something like this. Out here in 29. You can see this dip a little bit, pop for the next little bit. Probably do things like this. And then stuff like this. Like that. That's what oil looks like to me. All right. And we'll get the request just in here in a minute. Brent, same kind of situation. RB1. That kind of looks the same, except this is the lowest low at this point. Look, kind of went down, retraced, down more. That's kind of like a three-wave down. Could see a nice steep retrace here. Something back up in this $3.10 area. Could see this pop up in there. And turn down again. Same sort of potential. Big move, big move, big move right there. Funny enough, I got that almost right on the money. Heating oil, diesel fuel. Same kind of pattern. A little bit different, but same kind of pattern. First move down, retrace, next move down. It's kind of an A wave. Potential for this to rally back up and turn down again. Natural gas. This one you got to be careful, my friends. Seasonality wise, we're potentially coming into a resistance. But, and it might, well, yeah. We might spike that 490 area right there. Just big picture. We might spike that 490 area and then take another move down. Now, if we break above the 490 area, could go visit something like 13. That'd be kind of wild, right? Nice and spicy. So this is an area to watch. If we turn down there, potential to go lower. If we, for some reason, break higher, potential to go up there. Not convinced that this move over here looks like more like a fifth wave move, five wave move. Looks like it's more done. This starting to look like something that might be more bullish. So be careful on natural gas. Doesn't have to go lower. Just talking big picture. Gold went higher. Didn't correct as low as I thought it might before we hit the upside target. Now, here's the crux of gold. Big picture, right? Big picture. I don't usually sit here and do these on Tuesday, but this is the big picture kind of thing here. Now, we did a move on gold from 2018 low right there. Look what we just did. That's an echo. All right. We echoed that move right there, right up here. I didn't draw it perfect. That's a pretty major resistance. We topped out there. And that move right there. Copied it right there. Potential for this to pull back. Now, it's also potential for this to extend. We'll cover that a couple things. This big pullback took years to do. Kind of hanging at the 1618 right there. I don't have it perfect on the fibs or on the highs and lows, just close ballpark. This also could result in a little bit of a pullback before we go shooting on up. That would be a next resistance, and that would be our next resistance. 4100, 5100. You may be like, well, JT, that seems a little crazy because how much money is it going to take to get up to those levels? For gold to get to 6,000, simple math, right? Right now, the prices are right 2,900, basically 3,000, pretty close. Basically sitting at $20 trillion. If gold goes to 6,000 an ounce, that puts this at $40 trillion. Right there. Where does $40 trillion come from? I don't know, because all the assets in the whole world are worth about $155 trillion right now. Where does 20 more trillion come from to flow into gold? I don't know. Now, something interesting though, M2 money supply worldwide started climbing at an aggressive rate, not just because China changed their accounting. So there is global liquidity potentially pumping into the system. Usually lags the stock market and Bitcoin moving. Those move about 2 months after the money supply starts growing, 2 to 3 months. So the money supply started aggressively going up. So gold, intermediate wise, potential for a pullback, but doesn't mean it has to. You can just keep ripping. Now this one, maybe the bigger opportunity, but it has to do the setup, right? Right now, sitting right here at a potential to get this continuation. Target right up there around 60. Right there. Nice potential. Could go up to 70. And if it starts performing like gold, catches up, we could be talking about like almost 120. Holy guacamole. That'd be a crazy move for silver, right? 31 to 120. I mean, absolute crazy. Crazy numbers. Do I think it's going to happen? 60 might be happening. That's a huge opportunity, though. Could happen this year. Might take a couple years. This might take a little longer. And you can see the climb rate on silver. Climb rate on silver. Could take us out a couple years. So, opportunity here, but when you go down, you look at the daily, kind of dive down. Look what we got here. Looks like we're pulling back. Might stop right there and might come down, maybe, possibly. We're doing a first move, second move, third move. And it might be down in here. So there's support 1 right in there. And here's support 2 right there. That's what I'm watching for. Copper's still kind of bearish. Big picture. First move down. Well, yeah. First move down, retrace, potential move down. That's a 1, 2, 3, and could potentially put it right down here. Watch for that. and potentially a lower low than that right there. Maybe like no way. Well, we'll see. Never know. It's just what the chart looks like to me. When I sit here and look at it, that looks like an unfinished corrective move. Everything's very overlapping. All right. So we've kind of covered all the major markets. We're going to open it up to requests. Channel members, of course, have priority. So if you're a channel member, throw your requests out there. I'll cover all the channel members. When I get to the bottom of the requests, we'll circle back and catch everybody else. All right. Please use full, complete tickers, one per person per request. Let a few people go, then you can go again. Crypto, probably not going to cover very much. Probably skip it and go. If you got a question about something, please use a complete sentence. And there we go. I mean, there's potential. So I see the question about gold in Fort Knox. You know, I've said this several times now. There's potential. There's no gold. There's potential. There's too much gold, and there's potential. It has exactly the right amount of gold. Which way does the market go? I don't know. It'd be kind of funny though if we had too much gold. And then what does that do to the price of gold? What do they decide to do if we have too much gold? They decide to dump it to the market? Does it cause a pullback? What if we don't have the gold we're supposed to have? Does that cause a market freak out? Where'd the gold go? Big questions. I don't know. FIVN 5.9. What does that look like? I'd say that looks like a downtrend. Big, giant downtrend. Resistance right there. And support at the lows, 27. CMG, probably going down lower. I've actually got this on the other chart. Right here. Here's the target. Right there. First move down, retrace, next move down. Right there. Dun, 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 dun. Anything lower than that low can satisfy this right there, though. Anything lower than that low. Came such a long way. Now resistance is right up here at 57. We can easily retrace, hit that roadmap line, and keep this party going to the downside for a while. Right there. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Big McDonald's. Oh, everybody's liking some food stuff lately. Got the potential to rally on up here. 322. Support is down here at the roadmap line. We came down, we bounced. Potential to go up right there. Pretty much easy like that. And I probably should update that just slightly. Yeah, 322. Still 322. So support right in there. Right at that 618. Potential, we could come all the way down the roadmap line. We do see that sometimes. We get a bounce. Just like this one, right? Just like this one. See how we came down, bounced up, and came down again. So McDonald's can do just like NVIDIA right there. Entirely possible. Oracle, next one. Came up, came down, came up again, came down. We're holding higher lows. Holding lower highs. Then what? When we get out here to the end, then what? Not sure. Can easily come down here. There's the downside. There's the upside. Start to be a little coin flip here with higher lows and lower highs. There's the downside. There's your upside. So up around 210, down around 140. You're like, that's too much risk. I want to know tighter. Trade something else that's more clear. This is unclear. Unclear. Yum Brands. Nice upside target. Well, that worked out. That was my target right there, and we just kept on ripping. Keep on ripping. 1618. be careful. This can turn down. It's been consolidating for a long time. Winding it up, winding it up, winding it up. Let's look at some of the bigger moves here. Bigger swings. Potential up to 160 off of that swing. It was very overlapping to get there. And look at the bigger swing. Potential, 160. So confluence at 160. That's where multiple swings kind of all have a target right in the same vicinity. There may be a major resistance at 160. It might hit a wall. So keep it in mind. If you're chasing that one long, VGK. So we got that high, got that low, and a potential for 73, 74 on the upside on VGK. EM, golly, excuse me. Well, glad I stepped off of that one. I got out right back over here. And look what we're doing. Yeah, figured that was going to happen. There's the low, there's the high. Looking for this area to hold as support. Right in here. If we're going to hold that, turn back higher. Break back through the daily roadmap line. Maybe can go cruising on up to this area up in here. Around 64. Possibly. 61, 64. Gonna have to see that hold and shoot us up here. Now, if we start breaking down below 40, odds are we're going lower low. Down here around 34. It's ADM for you. Nothing clear. GME is a complete garbage pile. If they buy Bitcoin, I don't know. Did not trigger an entry. Closed down below the roadmap line. Potential for this to be the first move down, the retrace, and get another move down into the 17 area down here. People just not going to stores and buying, especially stores and buying video games anymore. Just not the thing. And almost all the video game companies own their own online stores, so where's GME's ability to make money? This one has a beautiful potential, but it has a major resistance. See this downtrend? Highs that's been cooking? That is a major resistance right there. We're coming up into it. We've not been able to break above it. Gosh, since 7 years, almost. 6 years, 7 years, this has been intact. And if you look at the bigger picture here, it's kind of been intact longer. If you look at these highs, it's kind of coming together in a confluence of resistance right there. That topped out back in 11 years ago. If it can break through, measure bounce potential, come up in this area. If it can't break through, potential go down. A little bit of a coin flip, and I'm not involved in that, even though it has nice upside potential. I don't like that resistance, the way it's kind of compounded together right there. Causes a problem for me. Potential, and it's sitting right under the roadmap line at the close today. So that's another layer of resistance right there, right there, right there. And the target will be up here. Just not sure. Not sure. Complicated, right? Complicated. Adobe, ADBE, ADBE. Put the fingers on the right keys in the right order. And still downside potential. First move down, retrace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we're going to be done till we're at least in that 380 area right there. Potential to widen this up, but would not surprise me one little bit. Yeah, we do have earnings coming up right here. Earnings. Not surprise me one bit to see that come down here. Earning coming up 2 weeks. Would not be a shocker to me if this reported earnings and we dropped right down to 380. Now, that would be a potential giant buying opportunity if we can hold that support right there. So, may end up right there, potentially bounce from there. Potential, but it's also potential that that doesn't hold support and we keep on flushing it. Lots of potential. Amazon. Guess what? Who was doubting me? I know somebody was doubting me. Who was that? Who? Anybody remember who was saying that there's no way that retraces? Guess what? Seasonality wise, Amazon almost always pulls back first quarter. Almost always. The expectations are just too sky high coming out of Christmas. Sometimes we rally and then we get this giant pullback. We typically get a giant pullback. Now, here's the question. Can we hold that roadmap line? That was my big target too. Like, we hit that upside target. Had that for years on that chart. That was cool. I don't know what the devil's going on here. What drawing tool is active? Well, let me click on anything. There we go. Yeah, let's just do this. Why was that upside target there? Check it out. That high, that low. Guess what? Guess what? It was actually the not log mode target right there at 235, 240. So guess what happens after we hit that? Retrace potentially back to the breakout. If we go deeper, we come back to potential 618 retrace, which would be from there to there, down a little lower than this right there. So there's a potential support zone right there. The breakout. Potential support zone right there. If we get deeper than the roadmap line. If we stop at the roadmap line, this gets actually simpler. Zoom her up. That high, that low. If we can turn it and burn it here, break through at 618. Here's the upside potential right in there. Now, why did I draw this down here? If we go on this big dip right here, down to this area, that sets up a much larger potential trade. Much, much larger. That low, that high, that pullback, that continuation. Remember that whole thing I was talking about, the measure bounce? That move reflected off the 618, potentially takes us up in here. And if we're going to go up like that, we may go as high as 700. So I kind of want to see a bigger pullback on Amazon. A big fast flush. That'd be pretty beautiful. And set up that potential move right there. We've done big fast flushes before. Probably do that. And set up a bigger upside. I like it. Meta. Sky's falling, the sky's falling. It's been down for 6 days, right? 6 days in a row. Oh my gosh. Probably coming down to the roadmap line. There's support. Not surprise me. And this may go I like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. PLTR. Roadmap line. Tesla roadmap line is where we're at. Got a hold here. Potential to go down to the 1618 there at 283. And XYZ. Pat kind of dominating the. And guess what? That's probably coming down here to the lows. Down there. I cover XYZ in crypto power plays. So if you got access to that, you should watch crypto power plays if you want more information. ZB1. Bonds. What a nice little bounce. So we did neither path. Like we didn't do the path higher. We didn't do the path lower. Neither. We did a sideways choppy thing. Yeah. Nasty. Ha. Look at that. That's. So you see this uptrend of lows right here? Broke down. Extended. That possibly could be the bottom right there. Very interesting chart. Three waves. Three waves, three waves. Ugh. Complicated. Nothing like it's complicated. So that's a corrective move up. That's a corrective move down. Makes it incredibly difficult to project anything from this. Man. Here's what I would expect to see. That's what I expect to see out of bonds. Kind of fits with TLT too. I've kind of been watching this a little bit. We have this potential. Yeah, three wave up, three wave down. Potential to rally up to this area right up here that I've had on the chart for a couple of years. Potential to rally right up like this. Hit this area, then turn down and make a lower low down here. Like that. That's what bonds look like to me. And let's see, we got cold, and that's just natural gas. Already went through natural gas. Potential for this to break on up higher. That could be a 5 down, and this could be a new trend. So be careful here. Could see this go up quite a bit. And like I said, the area to watch is that 618 level. Right there where all that confluence is. Right there on 487, 490, possibly 465. You know, some of the neighborhood between 465 and 490. If we get through that, probably going higher, maybe as high as 13. If we turn down from there, we may come back down significantly, back down in this area, and possibly extend it on down. So, how would you compare that to cold? Well, cold's ultra short, so if we're going higher, this is coming on down potentially to this zone. If we can bounce, if natural gas continues to pull back, and be careful, this is a declining asset a little bit, depending on the time frame. Look at that. Big dips, big pops, big drops. This one's a dangerous asset to trade. Leveraged instrument on natural gas. Sorry I don't have better information, but it's kind of, as it keeps developing, it gets more complicated. Didn't do the primary drop I would expect. It looks like we're going to push it a little higher. McKeeson, probably going up to 653. And almost to, there we go. We got to the bottom of the channel members. So just a reminder, if you're a channel member, you get priority requests. I go through, hit all the channel members first, and then we circle back all the way to the top and pick up everybody else. So hopefully all of you are still here. And power is the next one, and that went lower. If we can bounce, that looks better actually. There's the, put the 618 right where I'd expect it. That's a big gap. That's resistance right there. We're going higher. So it's got a large resistance box sitting right there on top of the conservative entry. 383 would be the upside. But when you jump out, look at this. That's a long way up. It can come a long way back down. It can go a long way back down. Holy fudge muffins. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, so that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a fifth wave extension. You know what happens when things finish their 5 waves? We might see a large retrace. Could put it back in this vicinity or right in here. Back around 160 before we go up more. Man, oh man. Got to be careful on that one. All right. Moving on, moving on. LRCX. Did a weekly bounce. Potential of 120 on the upside. Might take a while. Might take a long while. And so far, set the weekly resistance. So I did 3 waves up right there. Best, it's cleanest on this weekly chart. That's resistance, and it stopped there. Stopped dead. Move down, 3 waves up. Golly, that's so, it's almost too perfect right there. Look at that. First move up, retrace. Next move up, right dead to the perfect echo. Down would be the next move. Almost too perfect. Can't make that proportion up right there. Beautiful. All right. I don't have anything else to say there. And it's on the daily, coming down for that target zone. That's the that's that first move down, retrace, next move down. First move down. And second move down. Almost there. Getting in the vicinity. I mean, we're close enough we could bounce, but that's right there. Bounce it back up through the roadmap line would be the indication we're done on this correction. Remember, give me a like, subscribe, thumbs up, comment if you appreciate any of the analysis I do. SMH, chopping it up. Not get below the roadmap line, not good, but holding on to the uptrend of lows. Maybe we can save it tomorrow with NVIDIA. If NVIDIA crushes tomorrow, this is going down here. Going down hard. Right at that support. Could have been a fake out right there with the entry. Even though it was a high probability. On the daily. VRSN. Let's clean it up. Choppy sideways for years and years and years and years and years. Look at that right there. I wouldn't bet that's doing anything. I mean, can you make money trading from the bottom to the top? Sure. Does it look like it's going anywhere? Nope. Pass. Hard pass. Power systems. Potential for a bottom. There's the resistance. There you go. That's there goes. FAS. Potential to come back down to the roadmap line. Tesla. Thought I already covered that, but hey, there it is. Roadmap line. Potential support 284. If it extends it at all. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bottom potential anytime now for a big reversal. First move down, second move down, third move down. First move down was right there. Copied it over here. We got a little extra gravy. Classic. Did it in a 5-way fashion. First move down on the 5 wave. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5th wave was proportional to the first wave. Everything looks really good for this to turn. And this could turn violently. Be careful. This could just shoot right up in here pretty quickly. Now, what if we don't? Well, 284 next supports. And then retesting these highs right here would be the next level down, which is not far below 284. So right in there. Right in there will be the next levels down. AVGO. Back to the roadmap line. Now, there was an interesting big trade today on AVGO. Thought I'd show this off. Now, you can say big trades full of crap. I don't know. Never know exactly what any trader is doing when you see a big trade. Never know exactly. But these were above the ask. These two trades I'm going to show you. Here's the first one. Right, yeah. $4.3 million in premium right there. And then here's the next one. Oop. Another $6 million in premium. On this 180 strike, they were traded above the ask. Now, yeah, big trades can skew the market, be whatever. The open interest on this contract was 31. So it's unlikely that one of these was the opening order and the other was the closing order. They were likely both the same direction in that March expiration. This is not an option that had, these probably weren't closing orders because the open interest was almost none. It's unlikely that they opened 6,000 and then closed back 10,000. It's possible, not likely. Both traded above the ask. So that was $10.7 million, $10.6 million in premium on that one option. These trades both happened like 15 minutes apart. That's in the money. Big traders like to trade in the money. You know why? You know why they like to go this far down and buy? Because when you buy at the money, you buy premium. Let's go look at the chart, or look at the option chain. Take a diversion a minute. So that was the March 14th right here. Handy dandy, we now have options. We can now look at these. So there's the 180 strike. Right down in here. That was calls that are in the money. Now here's the deal. Theta decay. Oh yes, up here, theta decay is like 35 cents. Come down to the 180s, it's down to 27 cents. All right, you look at the price was right there. Roughly 202.50. Roughly 202.50. So basically right at the money right there. So right at the money right there. That option, if you're buying it, you're going to buy the ask. You're going to buy high. Pay $12.45 for what? That money, if the market goes zero, moves nothing between now and March 14th, that $12.45 goes to zero. That option Has no intrinsic value. Now we go down here, like that. That has $22.50. $22.50. That's $22.50 in the money. That's $22.50 of intrinsic value. Look at the cost right here. 27 on the ask. If they transacted above the ask, so that means roughly, it's not a sure bet. You know, I'd have to go look at what they transacted at. But we're looking at 27 bucks, 5 cents roughly, minus 22.50 in the money. So like $4, you're paying $4.50 for those options. $4.50. If you think AVGO is going to go up big, that's only $400.50 of time value that you lose compared to if this thing goes nowhere. So you're risking, like if this stays flat from now till April, till March 14th, you're risking $4.50 right there. Now, if it goes down, sure, you're going to lose money. You've got $2,700 at risk per contract. But the time value, if this thing moves nowhere, just stays flat, $4.50 risk. Not bad. You'd have to go all the way up here to get the same kind of risk. And that would take one monster move right there. Right here. You have to be right up in this vicinity. And that takes, just to go in the money, that takes a move of $20 to the upside. Then to make money, you have to go $4 more just to be break even. Crazy, right? So this right here, if AVGO goes up $4 from where they bought, they're break even. Hopefully that helps some people understand why you would buy deep in the money options like that. Let me know in the chat if that was helpful. So it's interesting to me. They bought way down here. Potential for this to come on down to 190 and bounce. Support right there. Resistance on up here. Might do a big bounce. That's millions of dollars. Millions. All right. PM, Philip Morris. Potential hitting targets. Be careful. Could go up to 166. Could. Already topped out. Coming down to the roadmap line. My expectation, 35. And next up, Merck. Resistance at the roadmap line. Right there. Next stop. We did hit my downside target. Potentially bounced right there. Beautiful potential. UNH. Guess what? We hit the downside target. Potential for it to go a little bit lower at 423. Resistance is at the daily roadmap line. And you pull the 618 down. Yeah. So resistance is right there at that prior consolidation area, top of that. Until nice bounce, but looks like it's fading right back down. Potential to go lower. Golly, excuse me. Sorry if I just blew out anybody's ears. Watch out for that one to dip down potentially $10 on the downside. If that was it for that move up, RDWR. Support at the roadmap line. Came up just shy of the target. That's probably it. Probably it. Watch for the roadmap line. Next bounce. Potentially up to 25.50. NBIS. And turn it down. Uptrend to lows. Possibly just fill out this triangle here. Oop, missed the My mouse got crooked there. And PLTR, already did. Roadmap line, that's the target. Potentially down another 35%. LRCX already did. Pins is potentially coming down to the roadmap line, somewhere around 33. And FTNT potentially coming back down to the roadmap line. Upside target still up here, 140 or 125, excuse me. WLMT. And it says invalid. I don't know. Lulu. Potential bounce off the roadmap line if we can get there. Remember that gap down thing? Talked about it earlier. Right there. Came up to it. Pulled back. Up to it again. Pulled back. Up to it again. Pulled back bigger. Potential hold support here. And then maybe get the energy to bust through that gap down. Just like that. CVNA. I've bought, how do I know that's the way it works? I've bought that high and rode that gap and bought double down and just want to get the fudge back out when we climb back up there. I've done that. I know probably 3 dozen other traders that have done that. At least. Honest, good traders. Been trading for years and years that have done that sort of thing. That's why I know the psychology is. You're trapped. You add. Fill the gap, you just want to get back out, and it drops back down. That's why gaps down are upside resistance. Be careful on Carvana. Breaks back above here. That's the entry for potential. Go up to 309, but we do have that gap down right there. Lily, upside target, 1,000. 1,016 right there. ASTS. Potential to have bounced. Upside 43. And we scraped the downside. Nice. So potential upside 43. FI. Hit the resistance. Watch for the retrace. Potential down to the roadmap line. KWB. Quib is found some resistance at the 618. Might retrace to the support at the roadmap line. Upside target is still active up here. Like that. And I didn't put that quite right because that's supposed to be right there. Still the same basic numbers. 41 upside target. That's support. That's support. Bounce here. Could come down here. Bounce here. If it breaks down, dollar below low, that's the stop out. And probably going to get an extension down. Celsius Holdings. Probably retracing. Yep, retraced. I would expect that to do at least a 618 retrace. That was a monster run up to the roadmap line. Hit it, tagged it, retrace, hold support, bust through, come back, retest from the top before we go higher. Classic price action. Coin. Right down in the support zone. Oh, it did the 618 retrace. Beautiful place to hold. That just cleaned everything up for going higher. So, next resistance is the roadmap line. Right there. And then, the orange line, yeah. And then 618 above that, where we did this consolidation. Get through that, we're on the path up to like 500. That could be more than double on coin right there. Might be an outperformer for the next part of the next quarter, next half of the year, next 2 quarters. STZ potential bottomed. Roadmap line resistance all the way up here. We'll see. I'm not sure it completely bottomed. It might need a little lower at 150. And H bar. Can I make money with this coin? Probably not. H bar looks like it sucks. Down, busting through the roadmap line. Be careful. That was an insane move up. It might retrace very deeply. Back down here. Holding up, kind of. Risk is down to 50% loss versus a potential bounce off the roadmap line. Gonna have to get through that 618 at 29 cents to go up to 43 cents. That's not huge upside opportunity for the risk. Be careful. Walmart's coming back down to the roadmap line. First move down, retrace, hold the 618 bounce. Right there, resistance at 100. And may turn down to the roadmap line from there. TQQQ is just leverage QQQ. Already went through. It's back to the roadmap line. Holds here. Still go upside. And breakdown. Dollar below. That's the stop out point. Crowd. CRWD. Oh, yeah. That's the one. That's the one I was talking about earlier. That's the one. Gap down. Resistance. Shot up, hit the target. Next target down. Roadmap line. That's the one I got into. We came up and hit the target. Gap down. Resistance. See that gap was resistance right there. Still resistance. Next gap was resistance. Took us a while to get through it, all those gaps, and then we went on to hit the target. It's charter. Sitting on the roadmap line, potential for an expansion. That high, that low, break through the 618, 428 upside target. PEGA. And I don't know where support's going to be. I turned down off that resistance. Funny enough. It's kind of funny how this works. Potential to come back down to this support. Right around there. Around 56 before we can turn higher. Break up and go up here. 166. DOCS. Hit the keys out of order. It's at the 618 resistance and might experience a bigger retrace. Be careful. That's resistance. And then wherever the roadmap line is when we get there, just below that. Alrighty, next up. AR. Back to the roadmap line. What I write years ago. Yeah. We didn't break higher, we broke lower. Oof. Failed head and shoulders. Yeah, we've just been sideways for a long time on that one. Move up, retrace, move up, retrace, move up. Oof. That high, that low. Sit at the 618. Potential if and when we break back above these highs right there. If we can break above, probably go extending right up there. 53. TME. Lowest low, move up, retrace, move up, retrace. Difficult to project. If we're going up, probably resistance at 16, 17 area right here. That target right there. ARKK is Bitcoin. No, ARKB, sorry. That's ARKB, Bitcoin. ARK Innovation. That's the high, that's the low. Potential to bounce. This got flushed last couple of days. If we're going to go higher, there's the setup. Looking at a bigger picture. I don't know. It's got a lot of crap to work through. Could have bounced here, break up through that. I'm willing to bet if we bounce off the roadmap line, we stop right there on the next advance and retrace again. These levels from before. Kind of where we stopped in the vicinity of that, retraced, pop up to the next one, maybe poke through it, retrace. Would be what I expect there. So if we could pop. All right, like that. That's ARKK, GL, Global Life. Wow. We tagged the downside. Look at that. Like, we tagged it right there. Dang. That's the lowest low, I think, forever. Oh. So anybody that doubts about that 618 retrace junk right there, look at that. Magic. So this has potential to go on up here to this area right here. Possibly as high as 200 on the breakouts right there. Put this up just a hair more. Right in that zone. That's what I expect on Global Life. It was a heck of an opportunity to buy it right here. That's 4x upside potential. Excuse me. Feels like I got something cotton ball right there in my throat. GENC, deep retrace. Oh, that's pretty gnarly. Looks like it may come back to the lows. And PayPal, already covered, I'm pretty sure. No, I covered Square. PayPal, 42, downside potential. If we let the rope go. That was 3 waves up, right in resistance. Didn't get the extension to make 5 wave up. That's a really deep move. Here's support right there, coming across. I should just drag that line across. We break down below that, probably coming down here. There's the right around that 70 area. We break down below that, probably going way on down. RSP was at the equal weight. Yeah, that looks like first move down, retrace. Looks like we turn down. So first move down, the retrace, potential for this equal weighted thing to flush on down. Right there, 167. APLD. Apply digital. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Let's be honest. There's not banging opportunity here, all right? That chart does not scream to me, hey, let's get involved here. Failed to break out. May return to the lows. $4. It's low priced. Be careful chasing that stuff. PTD. Well, breaking down below. Here's the support. We break down below that. Probably going lower low. Need to hold here and turn higher. Giant gap to fill. Ridiculously giant gap to fill. Right there on TTD. Apple. Upside potential. 265. And this has been holding up really well in the face of all the market turmoil. So if the market turns good, watch for that to rally right up 265, possibly 270, possibly even 280. Right there. Giant upside. EQT. Roadmap line. 45, 44. PAS. AAS. Topped out. Retraced. My gosh. What a nasty chart. Potential to go to 26, 27. And it's got a lot of resistance to get through to go higher. And the reason I had that stuff drawn over here, that all that chop, there's a gap down. It's got some stuff to work through. X Pro. Resistance at 15, support at 9. And enough. Going on down. Sitting on that support at 99. If we break down below it, 80. Break down below that, 54. And AMRX. Resistance right there. We got to break through that prior high. If we can. $9 potential upside. $7 potential downside. It's kind of a coin flip. Not feeling very strong either way because it's pharmaceuticals. NNE. Back to the roadmap line. Around 20. No. Yeah. Around 21. We did the bounce and hit the target. Retrace. Be expected. Be expected. That high. That potential low. Oop. Click the wrong button. If we can hold the roadmap line and turn up, resistance here at 37 to go to 51. If we turn down, we could go deeper. Something like that. And let's see, Microsoft. Guess where that one's going. Uptrend of lows, broke down below it, back tested it. Broke down, back tested, continuation. Nothing really changed there. It's been the path for a couple weeks. FRT below the roadmap line, so upside resistance at the roadmap line. If you don't have the roadmap line, links in the description, or you can just click on the channel homepage right over on the other side, right over here, underneath me. Click on my name, go to the channel homepage, watch the videos like my favorite indicator. I give you the roadmap line. And so resistance there, support, who knows, down at 95 probably. It's just a big choppy sideways hot mess of garbage. I don't think that's going anywhere. Honestly, PCE, foreseeable future. PCE consolidating at the lows. No sign that that's the bottom. Could extend lower. LAND is consolidating at the lows. May go lower. Looks pretty horrible. I would not be feeling warm and fuzzy. CL. Resistance at the roadmap line. Kind of hit it today. And we hit it over here. Spent 3 days, 4 days there, and then rolled. So watch out if we can get on through. Resistance is up here right now. Get through that. Could go on up to 112. ALT. Less than 50 people, or less than 60 people on a stream. Stream fatigue. I'm starting to get tired too. And potential to go down right there. Resistance at that 618 level, right around 8. Low price stuff doesn't always work, so I warn, caution. Mondelez. Resistance. This is, man, nasty chart. First move down, the retrace. Next move. That bottomed out in a reasonable spot. Excuse me. Went a little extra. See that often enough. That whole correction. Resistance right there. Not really a clean resistance at this point. May come up like that, bust through, the head up there, 81 upside. Downside potential 48 if we break down. If we turn down, get extension. Could be somewhere, anywhere down in here. So resistance here, resistance here. It's kind of what we got going on. Mondelez. FNV. Watch for that turn back to the roadmap line. Sideways chop. And can I repeat where the support is for Mora? Yeah, like 9. Right down there. 8, 9. Right down there. And MRK. Already did. ALB. ALB. Potentially going back down for a new low at 65. RLI. Difficult. Potential to be done, but that rejected the roadmap line. It makes me feel like there's more downside to go. Not really done a big retrace ever. Might be about time to do one. We can see that retrace down to here. Be careful on that one. RLI. Elf Beauty going lower. Probably coming on down. Back. Take the whole bubble back. Back down to 20 area. 20, 30 would be my expectations. AI. Guess what? Didn't break out. Lower high. Probably coming back down to $11. T-Mobile, sky's the limits. Starlink, baby. I got no target. This might just rip. 296, 300, 310, 350. I don't know. There's no pullback. Just upside. Crazy upside. It might give up anywhere. I don't know. Trend pullback continuation trader. When there's no pullback, there's just crazy trend. Sky's the limit. I could do some crazy stuff and predict it, but there's no simple answer. This probably come back to the roadmap line right down there. Coin already did. KTB. Probably come back to the roadmap line. KO. Hey, nice move. We bounced perfectly. Oh my gosh. I don't look at this one every day. Probably coming up to that area right there. LNG. Probably coming down to the roadmap line. Right there. We stalled out at a major upside. Probably going to come down. Hit this, maybe break through the 618 and go on an extension, but it's got to find a support and turn higher again. That played out. So looking for roadmap hit. And let's see where was I? LNG. I did MCK, MRK. I already did GitLab. Back to the roadmap line. Potential supports. Upside resistance right up here. It's been resistance for a while. Couple years, 4 years. Support here. If we break down below the roadmap line, might go lower low because that's a lower high. Could return back to the 39, 40 area. Be careful. BBAI. Probably coming back to the roadmap line. Just like we've done before. Over and over and over. Home Depot. Coming down. Potential support right there. Although it did a lower low. So any lower low satisfies this correction. That counts. That can be done. If we bust back above this high right here, we're going on up to here. There's also potential to extend this down into the 350 to 360 area right down here. Which way? I wouldn't bet on it at this point. It's not clear. This does look like a lot like a 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as we stay below this low right there, I would assume we're going to get the next move on down in here. Why? Because that was 5 down, 3 up, 5 down, and then we can start a new trend. Just the rules of Elliott Wave. Like I gave out the link at the beginning. If you're interested in finding out more about Elliott Wave, go register for the event. Scroll up to the top of the chat. This right here, probably coming down to the roadmap line. ISRG, probably coming down to the roadmap line. SMCI, probably coming down to a lower low. So what scares me right here, I don't know if they did turn in. They were due to turn in today to the SEC an audit. Yes. They submitted their audit, so. Blah, blah, blah. Face it deadline. They had to submit all the quarters that were behind. They didn't, they don't, like, even though they submitted, they did not resolve the broader lingering issues. This could still get delisted. I would be very careful. Shares were up 24% in extended trading after they lost nearly 12% in the regular session. I would be very careful here. Popping on, getting that filing in. It's not necessarily going to be good though. That high, that low. We did hold the roadmap line. If we close above here tomorrow, potential to extend this even higher, right up in here. If it turns down, there's the downside. I don't think it's worth the risk, but that's just me. Any trade that's not more than, say, $20 million on NVDA is probably not worth looking at it on a dark pool. It's probably not telling you anything. Think about it. Think about it. If you're down here in the billions of dollars and you have $1 million trade, that's a big trade. If you're up here in the trillions of dollars and you have $1 million trade, it's nothing, insignificant. So $20 million option trade, that would be, you would need something like 20 or plus $1 million options to really think that somebody big is taking a bet. It's just the, law of big numbers. So that's what I think about that. Maybe 15 million, but 20 million, it's gotta be a big trade. $5 million, probably nothing. Just somebody playing. Somebody with lots of money playing around. TSN. Lower highs, be careful. It's been resistance for a long time where that gap was. Rejected twice, coming up for the third attempt. Didn't quite make it to the measure bounce. Could be. Could have been close enough. Potentially puts the target right up around 75.80. Right there. If we can break higher. We didn't hit the bigger bounce, so I'm not sure we're going higher. Didn't do the perfect bounce. I'll say it that way. Dell. Downside. Potential. There's the resistance. Get above it. We can go higher. Downside potential 79. Walmart already covered. Oklo. Going down for the roadmap line. IONQ. Coming down for the roadmap line. AAS. That can't be the right one. I don't see a US listed AAS. Not sure what you were looking for. AAL. At the roadmap line, potential bounce. That high, that low. Break above that. Resistance right here. Gap down. Caution zone. Could go up to there. 19. Break down below here. Could come on down. Back to this danger zone around 11. And Ken's key was on. Finger on the wrong key. Back to the roadmap line, 12. DDOG. Yep, didn't bounce. Uh-oh. Now what? That low, that high. Looking for that to hold support. Just clean it up at this point. Simple as this. That low, that high. Here's the support right there. That low, prior low. That's 5 up. That's a wave 2. This sets up the next move. You'll like this. Probably don't like the retrace to 100, but the next move potentially. That'll be resistance. Break through that. Right up here will be the next target. Like that. Potential double on shares. Maybe even up to 276. So there you go. Pretty nice one. KHC. Resistance. It got below the box. Ugh. Sideways. Like, see that gap down? Hasn't filled it yet. That gap. People are stuck. Sell. 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 Took it back to near the lows. That's resistance up to 48. We're sit below the roadmap line. Easily go lower. Support is at the low right there. And if we break down below it, we're going lower low. That potential down to 15. Right there. Potential for that. Or potential for that. Coin flip. Not clear. Not even clear a little bit. EXAS. And there you go. Nothing. Lower grind. And IBEX. Still below the 618 though on SMCI. IBEX kind of got this funk going on, and we may see this retrace to the bottom. May see it do that for the foreseeable future. Not sure. MCHP. Be careful. Resistance. Trend is down. Splux. Oh, go, baby. I am long this. I bought 90 strike holes down here. And there's my target. Go, baby, go. Look at that 130 area. Yep, that's gonna be a nice trade. Go, baby, go. All right. Last one, WPC. Nasty. Nothing. Nasty bunch of nothing. Sideways, chop. Not much there. Sorry. Looks pretty funky. It's been doing nothing for, I mean, look. All you gotta do, go like this. Click on the current price. Well, for a long time, that's been doing nothing. Last 11 years, we've been doing nothing but chopping. Chop, 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 chop. Why would you expect it to be different right now? Do you know something? I wouldn't expect that to do anything different than what we've been doing. More of the same. And real estate's potentially going to have a problem, so be careful. Get involved in real estate investment trusts. Real estate investment trusts are one of the things that don't really follow the pattern at all, so it's, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I've been trading real estate investment trusts longer than anything else. These patterns kind of apply, kind of don't. You have to usually do adjusted basis, and that still doesn't look very good for that one. Potential to go higher, but I don't know. It's got a lot of stuff to work through. 79, 83 upside potential. Anyway, that was the last one. And hope everybody has a great time this evening. I will be back live 9:15 in the morning. Same bad time, same bad channel. Looking for what's moving, what's popping, what's dropping. Actually look at the morning movers list and try to figure it out. See where the day might go, where NVIDIA day might take us. See what happens, if we can pop it, or do we drop it and do a big retrace. Hadn't been too long since we retraced pretty big on NVIDIA. We could easily do another one of these. Easily. What would that do to the market? Looks like devastation to me. Easily get back to 70. Have a great day out there. Be safe. I'll be back live first thing in the morning, 9:15 before the market opens. We'll do it all again. Check it out. See what happens.